Today I'm doing a try on of some swimwear samples that I just got in the mail. These samples are for my underwear company, Cherri. It is a vulva positive wide-gusset underwear and swimwear brand. So I designed everything to be really comfy for your coochie. I've also been trying to develop some new designs, and these are the samples for the said new designs. So I'm so excited to open them and see how they turned out and see how my vision translated into real life. These are going to be my very first thoughts on the quality and the fit. Yay! Before I get into my initial first thoughts on the samples, I'm going to give you some context. I thought of this concept of camel-toe proof swimwear. I'm trying to design this for 2 or 3 years now. I wanted the idea of a removable insert. If people wanted the camel-toe proof coverage, they could have it. If they didn't want it, they could remove it. I also wanted to make sure it was specifically removable so people could, clean it in between wears. The reason it's been taking so long to develop this whole thing is because I can't find a way to make the construction of the inside work so that the insert is removable and also stays in place while you're swimming. So I'm kind of thinking now, reevaluating, I might just nix the whole idea of an insert and instead try and do a thicker layer of fabric that the garment is lined with that will just smooth the area. Because this is a new concept, I feel like it's been a lot of trial and error, and I know that this is something people want. So I want to make sure that it's done right. Because the development for this has been so expensive, I was thinking of doing a crowdfunding campaign for it through a platform called Oversubscribe. Basically, it's not just a donation. You would essentially be a little mini investor, and you would make a percentage of the revenue back from the collection once it sells. I really liked this concept because I feel like Cherri has always been a very people-first brand. I wanted to give back to my most loyal followers and supporters in a way that could actually mean something to people. And a little extra money means something to people, you know what I mean? It means something to me. I'd rather put my people first over profits. So I have it linked if you want to check out Oversubscribe and kind of help me through the process of developing this camel-toe proof swimwear. The link is just to kind of get an idea if people would even be interested in this. Those who would choose to donate would follow me along in this process, get videos like this where you're getting the feedback. You can help me choose the colors and the styles, and of course, the product itself. Be the first to get it. So check out Oversubscribe if you want to help invest, follow along, help co-create some camel-toe proof swimwear. But yeah, those are my thoughts about kind of maybe how I'm going to restructure the design. But these are my first thoughts of the product with the insert idea. And by showing you the insert idea, maybe you can tell me if you still like that idea, if I should keep going with it, or if I should try something else. But anyway, let's get back into my first thoughts on the samples. First, I actually want to talk about the first round of samples that I received from this factory, which were my third or fourth samples, overall trying to figure out the development of this. They nailed the bikini top. I think this halter top with the little removable cherry charm is just adorable. It's exactly what I had envisioned. I really love how clean the stitching is. This is the opening for the removable padding, and it looks so good. I don't know if you can see it, but it just looks so good. For one of the bikini bottom options, we have this high waist swim. I think that the overall cut of this is just absolutely perfect. I think it gives the perfect amount of coverage in the back, and the sewing at the waistband is just, it's done really beautifully. The quality is really, really nice. Because there's so many layers of the fabric, the liner fabric, and then the gusset, the seams are really thick, and they really dig in and kind of make a not so attractive bulge. And this is one thing I know my girlies really suffer with when it comes to finding swimwear. They want swimwear that isn't going to dig in and look weird. Another design I have is this square neck one-piece swimsuit, which I'm freaking obsessed with. It really just snatches. I think that the neckline is really, really flattering, and I think it hits perfectly on the hip. This, however, I had the same complaint with the other styles, which was that these seams are really thick and they dig in a lot. So these are the camel-toe proof inserts that are currently on the market. You can get them on Amazon if you want to put them in your bikini to minimize camel toe. However, it's so tiny. This is not going to fit my nunu. So I was I have to custom develop my own camel-toe proof insert. So this is going to be the size small. As you can see, it just covers surface area much better. I'm also going to have a larger size available. I only had them do these samples in the lower rise style, which you're about to see, just because I wanted to make sure that we got the gusset construction and the seam construction right before I wasted money getting the samples done in all the different styles, if that makes sense. Because samples are $100 each, plus shipping. So it's usually like 2 to 3 rounds of samples just to get the fit right. And then I have to get a sample made in all of the other sizes to try them on the other sizes and make sure they're fitting those people right. Considering I sell most of my products in 6 to 7 sizes, we're spending like $1,000 on samples alone per style. And I have 4 styles of swimwear that I plan on launching. So that's at least $4,000 in just sample development. So it's a very, very expensive process because that's just in samples alone. We're not even counting the other expenses that I have when I'm developing a new style. So anyway, let's try on the new samples. Wow, the red is sexy. I'm not going with this charm. This charm is too small, but for reference, so you can see like the whole set together. This is the lower rise classic bikini bottom. It has a little bit of a cheekier back, and I wanted to make sure that you could hike it up if you wanted it higher on your hips or wear it lower if you liked it lower like that. I wanted to make sure it looked good both ways. I like to hike it up a little bit. The Camel-Toe proof insert and the seam is completely undetectable. It feels really comfortable, and I'm gonna move it down and see how easy the adjustability is. Seems pretty easy. But in terms of the seams, like they're not digging in. It feels much more comfortable, much more lightweight. So I do love this. In terms of the gusset construction, I think it's fine. Gusset construction option 1 just has the same open top seam similar to the first samples I showed you, but it does come up higher so the silicone insert isn't flopping in and out of it as easily as it was the first time. The second gusset construction option is more of this pillowcase seam, so you can slide it in similarly to how you would a pillowcase. It has this like top flap that then goes over it, so it keeps it from falling out. Each option allows you to move it up and down according to your anatomy and adjust it how you please. However, I do find that the mesh lining is a little flimsy. So here I'm exploring some different lining options, looking at the durability and the hand feel and softness of the options and comparing it to the one that I had used before. I think I like this one, and it has a better color match for the red I want to use. So we're going to try using this mesh instead in the next samples. I also want to do a different self fabric, one that is quick drying. Sitting in a wet bikini is just the perfect breeding ground for a yeast infection, so I think it's important to have a quick dry fabric, especially if we're going to have the silicone insert. I want to make sure that there is no water retaining properties, which is why I'm choosing silicone in the first place, because it is water repellent. I do like this one the most. However, I don't like the color options available. I wanted to find something that had a more vibrant red, like the color we used in the samples, so I'll have to see what the minimums are to get this fabric custom dyed to the red color that I want. Overall, I need to make a decision on which gusset construction I feel like will work best. I feel like partially what I have to do is a full wear test while it's wet, so it might take a second for me to make my decision. I think I do need to get other girls' opinions on it. But if you guys have a preference just by looking at it, comment below. I want to know your thoughts. I'm hoping that if enough people want this product, that we could crowdfund it because the development costs are so expensive. I've been kind of nervous to put it together. I don't know. I guess I'm like scared of failure, not reaching my funding goal, or, people just not wanting this. But I want to know your thoughts. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more COOCHIE and Cherri related content.